What's up guys, Merijn here, and we're back in Houston, Texas. So I'm here for a couple of shoots this week. It's gonna be really awesome. How do y'all think it's going?
I think it's going great. Really good.
You're from San Diego.
I'm from San Diego.
Do you know that I have a San Diego tattoo on my back?
Let me see. Oh my god. That's a big California tattoo.
I know. I got it in San Diego.
What are the other ones?
It looks less nice than this one. This one is color. I wouldn't get color again. I love San Diego. It's one of my favorite cities.
You gotta come visit.
Wake up and beg up this year, jump out the crib, stack up my C-note this year, killing my ego this year, all for the people this year, only believe in the real.
So this morning I had a hotel breakfast and I kept a really low carb, like pretty much zero carbs. That's what I always like to do if I have breakfast, if I eat in the morning, because I love intermittent fasting. But if I don't do intermittent fasting, I have a meal high in protein and high in fats, like relatively high, because that is very optimal for satiation and also to not get any blood sugar spikes, which you will get with the carbs. And now for my second meal, which is the pre-workout meal, sweet potato, veggies, and lean ground beef. Got this here at Alpha Eats, and the macros are 41 protein, 6 grams of fat, 47 carbs. So that's solid. By the way, Happy New Year, guys. I actually forgot to say Happy New Year. All the best wishes for this year. And so I actually knew about this trip 2 days before the new year. So, I knew it 5 days in advance. I did lose as much fat as I possibly could once I knew. I didn't go that crazy for New Year's Eve. It was actually the earliest in bed I've ever been. Had a couple drinks, but it was not too crazy, and so maybe we're getting old, that could be possible too. And I was actually totally fine with it, 1:30, I was in bed, I was passed out, and it was cool. And I also realized I wasn't even the only one. There were people sleeping before 12, so which kind of person were you during New Year's Eve? I'm curious. And I actually managed to lose a decent amount of weight, surely water weight, but make a noticeable difference, especially in my face, because that was definitely not as lean and I wanted to be for the shoots. Obviously I'm not here very often. I am a fitness model, so I want to look like a fitness model when I'm being flown out to a different country. And so pretty happy with the results. I made a full YouTube video about it on my Dutch channel, so if you speak Dutch, make sure to check that out as well. Also, I have to make a confession. This year, I relapsed again. Today was the 2-year anniversary of Alpha Land, and I'm gonna hit a big session here. So super excited. I'm gonna hit a full body workout today. The sun was shining, so I decided to start this workout outside and actually do as much outside as I can. And first exercise were front squats. This is currently my main movement for my quads. And so I do this one twice a week, been making some good progress. Now, with all the traveling, I am noticing that this was not my best session so far. So I'm trying to make sure I really warm up properly here. I do 3 to 4 warm-up sets before moving on to my actual set. This is an exercise I really fell in love with. Well, I kind of hate it at the same time, but I fell in love with the progress on the front squat this year, and I've been really focusing on it. I don't actually like back squats. Maybe it is because, one day I was doing back squats and then I tore my meniscus. Perhaps some of you guys that are very OG will know. This was kind of like when I started my YouTube channel. And ever since, I don't know, I've just never had a good relationship with squats, I guess we can say. So I prefer lunges or, in this situation, the front squat or a hack squat. And, my quads have been growing great while doing those movements compared to a regular squat. So I think if you want to really focus on your physique, it's definitely not necessary. So the second movement were muscle ups, getting better and better at these, and my form is really improving. So that's the main thing. It's not always about getting more reps with those calisthenics movements. It's really about how can I perfect my form and use even less momentum, because then you will also put more tension on the specific muscles you're trying to work. So it's also a way of progressive overload. Moving on to back, at a different gym, I always like to try different machines. I've never used this one before, and it feels freaking incredible. So it's like a high pulley row assisted with 2 separate handles. I'm doing a unilateral, so 1 arm at a time. Really great contraction. Next up is a movement for my glutes and hamstrings. And as you can see in the beginning here, that is very important to tilt your pelvis before doing this movement. And I can tell you guys, it looks very easy perhaps, but this one is difficult. And this one I specifically do because I'm trying to practice handstands more and more. I want to do the handstand push-up. But first, I have to really master that, mind muscle control of my entire body. And this exercise really helps me with that. So I do the amount of reps that I can. And then once I hit failure, I hold it there for as long as possible and then slowly come down. The burn is crazy. For shoulders, I do the overhead press on a separate day as my main movement. And on this day, it's only lateral raises. On a full body workout, you don't always want to do, every single muscle group, because then the workout becomes too long, especially if you also hit them multiple times during the week. So it really depends on your routine. On this particular day, I'm not doing a triceps isolation because I also did muscle ups, and the tricep part is kind of like my weak spot. So it definitely hits my triceps well there, and I do an isolation for triceps on a separate day. So I'm just doing hammer curls here for biceps, then finishing off with some abs, hanging leg raises for as many reps as possible, and then really going all the way to the top, really making sure that I'm not swinging, but really controlling the entire movement, bringing my hips forward. And after that, I'm also doing Russian twists with a kettlebell for 12 reps per side.
Oh,
No way.
what's up, dude?
Not sure if I caught that on video, but I just picked up some sour strips. I was going to show you guys this, and then Max just walked up here. That's such a coincidence, or is it meant to be? What do you guys think? Anyways, I'm gonna eat these because this is what I always do, like after my weightlifting session. When I have a run afterwards, I'm gonna run right now, I have some sugars, some fast-acting sugars. Now back at home, I'll have like a sugary drink, but that's because we don't have these sour strips, okay? They're hella good, and I'm happy that I can have these again. Kind of funny how we're fitness people and then we're addicted to energy drinks and sugar. That's so good, and I think this might be my favorite flavor. Not gonna eat the whole thing, of course, so I'm gonna put the watch on and we're gonna go for a run on the treadmill, because honestly, all my fitness friends here, they don't actually run. I've realized that I'm the only dude, and like everybody here is like into bodybuilding, like totally. So I don't really know where to go for a run, where I would even go, because most of these roads you cannot even walk. Me being a Dutchie, I'm confused, you know, we can walk anywhere. Here I cannot even walk from the hotel to a grocery store. I have to take an Uber, even though it's on the other side of the road. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know, Americans, I don't know what's wrong with y'all, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna take the easy route and run on a treadmill today. Even though it's nice weather, it would have been kind of nice. But I know myself, I'll end up running on like a highway and then I'll probably die. All right, so 40 minutes, easy run complete. I know it don't look easy, very sweaty, but it's warm in here, and I already had a workout before this, so pretty done right now. Very, very hungry, so let's go have some food. But first, let me show you guys the new Alpha League collection that is about to drop. So here I'm wearing the Raw Cut Tank. I really like this one, super stretchy. I'm wearing a large. Got the Raw Cut here and on the back as well. The Pebble color, and I'm wearing it together with the Elite Swift shorts. These are hands down my new favorite shorts. You guys have seen me talk a lot about the Identity Pro shorts. I really like those. These are kind of the same. So you have the shorts and then the compression under it. But this compression is a little bit nicer. It's also a little bit less tight than those Pro Identity shorts. I really like how we have this pattern here where the color turns to black. Zipper pockets on both sides. And then a V-shape here so you see the compression under it. And I just think it's so clean. For both lifting, but also for running, I always wear those type of shorts. It's absolutely perfect. This is the beige color. I might be the most hyped about these because they have this pattern going on. And you can also really see the compression there coming out with the V-shape. Rocking this together with the black Stadium tee. Next up is the Swift training pant. These are sort of the same material as the shorts without compression. Zippers again. Very nice branding here on the bottom, and then the branding here on the side. This is the porcelain color. I know it's definitely not for everybody, but I think it's freaking clean, especially like with a black shirt over it. This combo is killer. And these are the regular Swift shorts. If you don't like the compression, then just get these. These are great for running as well, or just any sport. I do truly love this color, and it's called Athletic Gray. I'm wearing this together with the Stadium Tee porcelain. This launches on January 13, and with code Merijn you will get 10% off your order. Now my honest piece of advice, get those Elite Swift shorts. I haven't been hyped about an item for that much for a long time. They're so good.
I do believe in no fear, and I got gang in this bitch. I never switch on the tribe, I keep it all the way real. I'm in control of my feels. You see my highlights is
wow. So we're having a really cool shoot here right now. And it is fire, like literally it is fire. What fun to shoot. So gonna wrap up this shoot and then get something to eat. At Chipotle, this is also a spot we don't have in the Netherlands. So what I got here is a burrito bowl with chicken. And then once they add the chicken, I asked for double chicken, and then you get a crazy amount of chicken. Because when you ask for double chicken right away, you get like 1.5 times the chicken. But when you ask it, once they've already added the chicken, then you get actual double. I got this hack from Alex Hormozy, I saw it on Instagram, and it actually worked very nice. So I had a realization this past year, and being on this trip has made this even stronger, this realization. And I got it the first time, I guess, just in the last year or two, when I was with my protein on trips and just like being invited on podcasts and doing collabs and stuff, that I'm getting old, okay? And it's starting to become a fact. Not in a bad way. Like, a lot of people don't like the word old, but I actually really don't mind getting older. I actually think that the last few years, that was kind of like when I turned 26, it's kind of like when I felt that I was getting older for the first time in my life. You know, that I actually had that realization, like, shit, time flies. I'm getting closer to my 30s now than I was to my 20s. And at 27, it started to feel a little painful. Now I'm becoming 29 in about 2 months from now. But like this year, it hasn't felt painful. I've actually started kind of like embracing this. And maybe I'm over exaggerating, but like I'm not actually like getting really old. But we also have to look at the facts. I kind of am in a certain way. Certainly when you look at like social media and the usual lifespan of someone or of an athlete or people that do this kind of stuff, it's not forever. It's not forever. So there is a certain expiry date. And I'm kind of like laughing at it because like the way that I had this realization is that I'm going on these trips, let's say with my protein, and then these past 2 years or so, I'm the oldest athlete. You know, I'm the guy that was there before anyone else. Because I've been with my protein now for maybe 7 years or so, and with Alphalete also like 6 or 7 years. So that it's just a crazy time period, right? And so you see also a lot of people, they come and go in the social media industry. So the way that I'm having this realization is sort of like that I'm becoming the OG. People call me OG, and I'm like I'm looking at OGs, and I'm looking at the older guys that kind of like started the fitness industry. You know, I'm looking at guy like on YouTube that would be like like a Chris Jones and Chris Lovato, CG of course, Christian Guzman is also an OG, and so these guys are really there like kind of like first. A Jeff Side who sort of like disappeared, and like you've seen a lot of people, they disappeared. You know, they came and they left. And I think actually the majority of people on social media. And so it's kind of like cool as well. A cool realization, something that I'm happy about, is that I am still here. You know, I am still doing my thing. Even though there have been rough times and stuff, I have been, I haven't left. Like I didn't fall off, even though many times shit goes down. I got back up again, and maybe not always in the highest of highs, but I still kept going, and we're still here, and I still think it's freaking fun. And so it also hasn't always been like that. There's been times where it wasn't fun, and so I think that it's just kind of like funny to realize like it's been such a long time. It is important to have that realization, I think, because I can also just not think about that and be like, nah, I'm not getting old. Like I can do this forever, but no, I cannot do this forever. So that's a good realization, man. We're all gonna die. I think it's a good realization to know that your time is limited, and especially now, people around me are, a lot of people are getting married. It's like all around me, and then also my friends in my hometown, like a lot of people are getting married, get kids, and so you realize like, well, you cannot think about it, but stuff is gonna come up. Women are getting older too. It is happening, and so I think it's good to have that realization and then decide what you want to do with it. So because things are not forever, it's good because then you get a better understanding of like planning your life, I guess. And maybe now in the beginning of the year, I think that's an important thing. Again, look at the whole year and look at the next 5 years, even 10 years, and be like, where do I want to be in 10 years? What do I want to do? And it doesn't always have to plan out exactly the way that you imagine it, but at least you can have an idea. Because if you don't have an idea, you're not sure where to go. You're probably not going to get anywhere, And so yeah, I think it's good to have kind of like that pressure of time, because it makes you think about what to prioritize in your life. And surely the last few years, I think you guys may experience this as well. I think it will even get better once I am 30, or if I'm slightly after 30, I feel like the age between starting at 24 or so, 25, it kind of sucked. Maybe that was just my life. I don't know if that's your life too. It just kind of sucked for like 25 to like 28. I don't know. Past few years have just not been amazing. And I feel like that also has to do with that age part. For me, there were a lot of other factors too, but I think it kind of that part had to do with it as well. That transition to kind of like a serious life, you know, kind of like responsibilities and stuff that you didn't have before that. And I feel like once you get that in order, which right now I have in order a lot better, then I mean, you get a better understanding of how to deal with it and stuff. You find sort of like a peace with that too. You also lose like friends during that period of your life, at least for me. And you start to think about like, who do I still want to be friends? Who do I want to be friends with? Who do I want to spend my time with? Because time gets more scarce and more scarce, you know. Because also your friends, they get more busy lives, and you get more busy lives. So you have to decide what you want to do with your time. When you're young, there's so much more time, man. Now I sound like the OG, the old man again, but it's true. You got more time where you're young, so enjoy that, like appreciate that, but also realize that, like, if you're at a later stage in your life, I think it's good to make those decisions. And like, I don't need many friends, you know. And some people I don't see very often, you know. I don't see Christian much. I don't see like Rob Lipset, one of my best friends. I don't see him often, you know. But every time we do, you know, if I see Joey D, maybe it's been a few years, maybe, I don't know. But I know if I see him tomorrow, it'll be like I saw him yesterday. And so that's what a lot of my friends do. Obviously, those are like the YouTube friends, but also even friends that live in my city, I might not see in a while, maybe a couple times a year, but every time we hang, it's a good time. And those are the type of people that I want to surround myself with, that I want to be around. And that's just not everybody. Even Stan the Man, you know, I was training with him every day a couple years ago. We were just hanging out all the time. We don't see each other that much anymore, you know, and it's a shame, but it's also just life. We both got stuff going on. Would love to, but yeah, man, time just gets in the way. And I think that's okay. And once you can find some acceptance with that, it's fine. But I think a couple years ago, I was struggling with that acceptance. And then it just kind of sucks, because then it feels like everything is just not working out. Yeah, so it's just a lot of choices, man. I don't know, man. Big ramble. If you guys can relate, share your thoughts in the comments. Very curious to know. Long ramble. It's a great time over here. Gonna get a lift in with Christian later this week, so I'll film that for you guys, and that'll be the next youth video. So make sure to subscribe, like the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. Much love.